What's up everyone? And I am in Ikebukuro still yet. For this video though, I decided to walk like way far from the station. Not way far, but definitely out of where that last video took place. I saw a sign and it said Oiji? Oiji, I think? O-I-J-I, something like that. And I just followed it. I got pretty far, I think. Not too sure. But one way had stairs and the other way had like a small slopey hill, and I was like, I'd rather go up the small slopey hill than climb up a bunch of stairs. But it looks like there's a bunch of stairs this way too. So not quite too sure where I'm heading, but you know, it's all about destination and the journey and all that kind. Train. This way looked nice though, because I like the way the dead vines are on the fence. I don't know, I kind of like the aesthetic, so I thought I would just walk down this way. I don't have any idea what that giant... Oh, you can't even see it. I wonder if I can get closer or not. There's like this giant white rectangle going straight up into the sky, but it's not like a excuse me, it's not like a skyscraper or anything. It's kind of just like a giant Lego, almost like a really thin rectangle. It's going straight up into the sky. Kind of interesting. I am right next to all of the tracks and everything though. I don't know how that sounds for you guys, so luckily it looks like it's looping over here. That way it looks pretty nice too, but I think out of concern for the audio, I'll head this way, up this slopey looking hill. I know one direction heads towards Kawagoe. I don't know if it's this direction though, because almost had an accident. Yeah, we'll just follow this. I'm gonna go off to the side though. A lot of bikers. I was looking at getting a bike again. I found some less expensive ones. And the cool thing about the station by my house is they have a parking for bicycles, so I wouldn't have to walk to the station. But my brother found this alternate route to the station. I've been taking the route that the cars take pretty much, and there's no sidewalk or anything. It's about a 15-20 minute walk. But apparently there's this other route, you go like behind our community. And the back route, it passes where we normally walk the dogs. I think he stumbled upon it just because he was walking the dogs. But you go back there and then it's like a direct little route straight to the station. And that way is only like 12 minutes or so. So it's not that bad. So then we took that today when we were heading to the station to come over here. And I guess if that's the way that we're going, I don't think I really would need the bike anymore. So I keep going back and forth with myself about whether or not I could get a bike, or if I need one. Because like we have the car to go to the grocery store and whatnot, so it's not like I'm walking home carrying tons of groceries or anything like that. I would like to go back to Costco though pretty soon. I like eating the canned chicken from Costco, the canned chicken breast. It's easy to cook, it's fast, it tastes good. Like nothing wrong with eating regular chicken, but it's a lot of prep. And some days you're just not feeling it. You know what I mean? Like you had a kind of long day, either physically or mentally, and you get hungry and you just don't want to spend 30 minutes cooking chicken, because chicken takes long to cook. Yeah, you gotta make sure it's cooked all the way through so you don't get like salmonella. So like the canned chicken, you just put it in a frying pan in like a couple minutes and it's not pink anymore. You just eat it. It breaks apart super easy in the pan. I use it in curry now. When I was back in Hawaii, I made it with, what did I make it with? Spinach. I just like sauteed spinach with anything, garlic or chili powder. I just threw it all in the pan together, ate it up, washed the pan. Super easy. This is also because like I don't have anyone to really like cook for. Like, I don't have a family to cook for. Like my brother and I, real low standards. My brother takes the time to cook stuff, but I mean, for both of us, like either way, whatever we cook, we're kind of okay with just eating that. So we don't need like all the fancy stuff. It's down this way. Buildings. So like, oh, right there, there's a blue sign. 31 kilometers going this direction is Kawagoe, and then 9 kilometers is Narimas. Oh, but the highway that they're on, the 254, that one actually leads straight to Sekibori inside of Saitama. So like you keep going this way, you'll hit Kawagoe first, and after Kawagoe you'll hit Ogawa, either Ogawa or Ogose. Then after you pass that, you're basically like you see Tokigawa on the blue sign, you're like, oh, that's me. I guess I could theoretically walk home if I wanted to, but that would take a lot of mental determination. Physical determination too. I don't know if I started like running again, but definitely not in shape for like a trek like that. Because I started out running 3 miles a day. Well, not a day, but like twice a week, at least once a week, trying for twice a week. But then I realized like I can't really run 3 miles without dying, like legit dying. So then, what was it? It was yesterday, I think. I was like, oh, I'll just like do a mile as hard as I can and focus on what I can do instead of what I can't do right now. And then, you know, after doing a mile for a while and just going hard for that 1 mile, build up the endurance a little bit. It's weird too, because like this is a nice flat place to like walk and run and bike and whatnot. But the little walkways that we have in our town, they're like all bumpy and cracked up, and it's just real hard to get your footing, your positioning down. You get like shin splints and pulled calves. But that's just me complaining. Like in all honesty, that's just me complaining. The other thing that I wanted to do when I was debating like moving here or not was getting a motorcycle to like go to the store. But as I've been driving in Japan, I've realized like one, it's kind of sketch just because of how some of the drivers kind of like turn and then look. I don't know if it's just because it's like a blind spot or not from where they're turning from, but it sure feels like they're turning first and then looking. And the other thing too is like the other people on mopeds and like motorcycles, they like they're real dangerous. Like they'll like see all the cars are stopped here, they'll like go through the in between of the cars and go all the way in front of the cars, and they'll weave in and out of you really fast while you're just driving somewhere. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's cyclists like that everywhere, but I think the fact that I'm on the other side of the road and the other side of the car makes it a little bit more sketch feeling. So after seeing all that, I was like, yeah, motorcycle maybe not. There's a Michelin tire place. Oh shoot, what's down this way? Get sidetracked seeing a pretty road. Wonder, I was in the train coming here. We passed a Shoten guy. But I was on an express train, so like the difference is it doesn't stop at every station. It has like a final destination, so the final destination was Ikebukuro. And it stops at like every 3 or 4 stations. But we passed one. I don't know what station it was at, but there's a little Shoten guy. And I was like, oh, I should try look for the name of the station as we're passing it, so that maybe we could go over there. It's like apartments. But I couldn't find the name. But I have the name of the line. It was the Tobu Tojo line. So I figured I could just trace the subway line and maybe find it. I do have another Shotengai area. Oh, KL Construction Co. Huh. I do have another Shotengai that I found somewhere in Tokyo or Saitama. And I was like, oh, could go down that way. So we'll go check that one out later too. Maybe we'll turn over. Oh, postman. The good thing about those is they don't. I haven't seen one weave through traffic yet. Which way? Which way? They're like kegging beer over there. Big truck. Go down this way. It's a little confused because I was hearing English. Oh, look at all the beer, guys. Must be a very tempting job. I guess it depends on your frame of mind. Like when I worked at Pizza Hut for a while. When I go to Pizza Hut, I like eating the breadsticks, but when I worked there, I was making the breadsticks. And I wasn't that tempted to eat them anymore because I was surrounded by them. Like it kind of just shuts your mind off of it. I did come home every day smelling like breadsticks, and my dogs were like all about it. Okay, so went down that road, but now we're going in the same direction, so we're like on a side street that's also heading towards Kawagoe. That's parallel to the 254 route. I'm gonna let this van cross. Oh, it's gonna let me cross. It's still Golden Week, but I think since we're out of like the major area, it's not crowded over here. Or maybe everyone from this area walked over to like the more shopping area of Ikebukuro. What is that? Dog and Cat Ikebukuro Jr. It's like a pet store over there. Flower store. Go down this way. Oh, there's a sign on the top that says like pedestrian walking on the left side and cyclists on the right side. I think the black strip of concrete is for the cyclists. That's nice. Oh yeah, I just passed a sign that basically said all of that. It had the Japanese characters on top and it had English underneath. That's the other thing too, the more into Tokyo you get, the easier it is to understand stuff because there will be like more English everywhere and like English underneath Japanese to help explain what's going on or like procedures of what to do. But the farther out you go, the less you see that. Like my town barely has any English. Some of the newer places has, but a lot of the small like mom and pop places doesn't have anything like that at all. So if you go outside of Tokyo area, it'd be good to at least know hiragana and katakana, because you'll still see that. Kanji is just a mess of confusing in my opinion. Like single kanjis by themselves, that one's not so bad. But once they start like going next to each other and you have like different words and different sounds, that makes everything rough. Just waiting on this light. Coin Park. There you go. I did find a parking place that I liked. The company's name was NPC. They take Passmo for when you pay. Oh, there's a Osake Yamaya food and wine. But they take Passmo. So if you have money on your Passmo, the card that you use for the train and whatnot, you can use it to pay for your parking instead of using like actual coins and cash and whatnot. So I kind of like that just because it's nice to have one thing that pays for your transportation. So that way I just have to worry about my Passmo and if there's money on it. The only thing is you gotta make sure that there is actually money on it, because if you're thinking of paying with it, you don't know the balance, you're gonna have to make sure you have money. You're gonna have to run to an ATM or something. But every time you use it at a train station, it'll let you know how much is left on it when you like check out to pay for the last ride. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. I'll check in with you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed exploring a little more outside of Ikebukuro, and I hope you all have a good day.